Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're brand new, I hope that you'll stick around for the content and that you like it and that you'll hit the bell and subscribe. On this channel, I talk about home education, mompreneur and entrepreneurial information. Also talk about health and wellness, keeping healthy. But on this video, I want to focus a little bit on the mompreneur because this is one of the things that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing, which is to help moms to figure out that mom and business balance. So many of us have desired to begin a business, to launch our project, to basically birth that business baby, to launch that first business, to start that project, to write that book, to get what's in here out so that we can do what we have been called to do on this earth. So that's one of the things that I love doing. My last couple of videos, if you go back, you'll see interviews with awesome women entrepreneurs. I have an interview with a CEO of Black Card Books, Josevi Jackson. That's my last video. The video before that, I had an interview on my Mompreneurs and Heels podcast with a freelance writer who's also a mompreneur and understands the balance between working and building your business. And then I also do interviews with homeschooling moms. So I have a lot of things going on in this channel, but today I wanted to just come to you and share with you my mompreneur balance framework. So I'm going to put the picture here or here so that you can see what I'm talking about, and also a link below where you can download it. This is a free download printable just for you to get yourself sort of situated if you are thinking about either starting your business as a mompreneur, or you just need a little guidance about how to get that balance back into your life if you feel like you've been out of balance. So I want to talk today about creating that balance so that we're aware of how these things come together and how they come to play in our life, so that we're not feeling that we're doing too much of one thing and less of another. So when you are a mom, like I am a mom of two beautiful girls who are now completely just growing up and getting out of the house and just growing up right before my eyes. They are ages at the moment 15 and 20. So all these years that I've been home with them, raising them, homeschooling them, doing all the things hands-on with them, I've learned the struggle of building your business while you're also raising your children. And it doesn't have to be, what you're experiencing doesn't have to be the kind of struggle that I had, but everybody's struggle is different. And I know that my struggle was balance. So I want to share some balance tips with you. And that's why I host both my podcast and my blog at mompreneursandheels.com. So check that out. So that project was birthed from my desire to help women with the mompreneur balance. So my framework consists of 3 steps, and it's foundational. It starts at the bottom, then you have a middle and the top. So just 3 simple steps to the mompreneur balance. And the first is mindset. So if you can just get your mind straight, you got it, right? And that's where the battle is. It's in the mind. It's what my pastor says. It's between the ears. That's where everything happens. It's where we decide that we're not good enough. It's where we decide that we can't do it, that it's too hard, that it's overwhelming, that we can't achieve it. All the can'ts and the buts and the ifs and the doubts, right, are happening at the mental state, the mindset. So the first step is to just clear your mind and to get the kind of help you need in order to shift your mindset so that you can start thinking more positively about who you are, what you bring to the table, and what you're actually able to accomplish in life. Because sometimes you just need to hear somebody encourage you and say, you can do it. Sometimes that's all you need. Other times you need maybe to clear out the cobwebs that are there, because it's years and years of layers and layers of abusive thoughts, and allowing other people even to speak into your life, the abuse that you don't need to receive. So it's getting those cobwebs cleared out. It's getting those thought processes cleaned out so that you can start afresh and realize that you can do anything you need to do. And as a believer, as in my faith, I love to quote scriptures, and I love the one that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is a scripture that I hold dearly to. So Find a mantra or a scripture or something that you cling to, and let that be your guiding post and your driving force to keep going, even when it looks like nothing's happening, when there's crickets, when you're not getting the results you want right away, but you know this is something you're supposed to do. So just keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. And so the first thing is mindset. And once you've gotten to the point where you feel like, okay, now I can take my first step, but it's going to be in faith, right? Because it doesn't look like anything's going to happen, but I'm going to do this. So that's number one. Number two, the second level I would consider to be family, because once you get your mindset, now you're ready to move forward with your online business, your digital business, your online store, whatever you're creating for yourself and your family, whatever business this happens to be. You realize that you're gonna have to balance it, right? So with your family, and family is everything. We get family one time. We get family when they're kids. I mean, you get family one time to raise them, and then they're out of the house. And that element, that dynamic of family shifts and changes, and it's not the same anymore. So you have that one chance to develop and create the family atmosphere that you want in your home for that limited amount of time. So we're looking at, 18 years of, and maybe a little more, because, kids come home from college. If they go to college or they're just launching their lives, they're still going to stick around in their early 20s. But for the most part, you get a solid 18 years with them in the house. And that's your time to focus on loving them and creating beautiful memories. So I would hate for you to miss out on that because you're so focused on business, and more business, or work, and more work, right? So we have to pay the bills and get the food on the table. But on the other hand, we're also building a family. So keeping that balance, that's where it gets tricky. So if we just keep in mind our priorities, number one, your mindset, number two, your family, let family be first in all things. So yes, we're going to go do our work and take care of our business, but we're always going to have the mindset that our kids need us. If you're married, your spouse needs you. And putting them first means creating a home atmosphere that allows your family to see that they are important, that you are putting them above the other things that you want to work on. So if there's issues in the home where you need to get on the food management situation or the cooking, or if you need some help with cleaning and you're just letting it slide, or if you need some help, because we need help, right? So if you need something, you need support, and you just let it slide, then that's not going to be helpful for your family. So you want your family to be running efficiently. You want your family to feel like you are spending time with them. Now, they may not always want you in their face all day, but it's about, finding that balance, making time in your life so that you have the energy to pour into them when they need you. Sometimes, as kids grow up, they don't have the same, they don't have the same needs that they had when they were younger. So they're not going to want your attention or your affection as much as they did before. So as a mompreneur, you kind of have to figure out what your child is needing at the moment and understand what their little nuances are and their behaviors and how they're responding to you, so that you know when to jump in and say, hey, do you need to talk? Or I notice you're going through something. Can I be there for you? Can I help you? What can I help you with? So to be a listening ear when you need to be that, it means that you have to be mentally alert and available to them, and not overwhelmed with your work, right? So that's where the tricky part comes in with balancing, is putting them first above your work, because work can be overwhelming. Work can be all consuming. And especially if you love your work like I do, you want to keep on grinding and keep on doing the work. You want to just keep on working into the wee hours of the morning because it's so fun for you. But pulling away from that and saying, hey, I need this time with family, that's where the balance is. That's the key to your mompreneur balance success. And you have to figure out what that is for you and how your family fits into that. Number three, the third layer here is business. And I put that last, even though you're building your business, as you're checking in with your family in step 2. Step 3 is kind of the final step, is focusing on getting your business off the ground and then running and keeping it running. So after you've launched it, you just want to keep that momentum, keep it steady, and don't pull back, and just kind of keep going with the flow, especially if you know what you're supposed to be doing and you're secure in that decision. You just keep doing it, you keep showing up, you keep helping, you keep being available, and you want to have a structured time for business so that you're not all over the place doing everything all the time, that you have specific times in your day. So your priorities are very important in building your business. So those are my 3 steps for the framework that I'm looking at right now. And I'm going to make sure I have a link to that. It's called the Mompreneur Balance Framework. And these are the core steps to how I coach clients when someone comes to me and says, can you help me with the balance aspect of being a mompreneur? This is what I would take you through. And this is just a very small part of my business. So I just want to make a plug here that the bigger core of my business is podcast coaching. So I've begun podcast coaching. So I've been doing this actually for a long time, but I took a long break. And so I have made a decision, and if you've been listening to any of my podcasts, you probably already know that I decided that I would be helping as many women as possible in the year 2023 and beyond with launching and creating your podcast. So I am going to be focusing a lot on that. And that means I'm open for business. When it comes to needing a podcast, wanting to start one, I'm your girl for that. I can help you start your podcast, and I will push you until you get it done. And so I'm really excited about that. I have a lot of resources and tools available for you if you want a podcast, and you can find that at impactpodcastcoach.com. And so that's the core of my business, but there are some peripheral services I offer, again, like the mompreneur coaching. I offer that, and I have been offering homeschool coaching as well. Some things are gonna, kind of phase out a little bit as I focus more on the podcasting, but these are all things that I love doing. And I feel like when you have experience and you want to share and help other people, if you can create a framework and help your clients get through the process so that they make a breakthrough in their life, then by all means offer that coaching service. And my next video will be another interview. I'm so excited about these interviews, guys. I know that some of you have been listening to the interviews on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So that's probably why there's not a lot of views on those here at this channel. And I get that, because when you subscribe to a podcast, you want to listen to it. So I get that. But I will still be posting them here regardless of how many views they get, just in case, if somebody wants to see the podcast, because a lot of times you'll want to see our eye contact and our interactions and how we're interacting. So it's easier to see it on video than, if you're just listening. So that's why I post them here. But you will see all of my podcasts here, except for the one that I just started, which is Soul Podcasting, and that's on another channel. But I wanted to invite you to go back and listen to any of the episodes that you think are going to be helpful in your business. I've talked to a lot of really incredible women so far who I know, if you listen to these episodes, can encourage you in your entrepreneurial journey. These topics, the interviews they're a little longish, so set aside some time, 30, 45 minutes or so, but it's worth it. It is so worth your time. So I would invite you to go back to any of the previous videos and watch those, okay? And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching this video today, and I'll be back later with more encouraging tips and resources for you. Bye.